Hello, Gemini, and welcome to a Timeless Justice for Gemini reading, where we discuss the topic of justice. However, the conversation is on this channel that belongs to Sekhmet wants to have the conversation. Bear in mind that you being here in any association to the sign of Gemini and or the latter is in true form to hearing out anything that may come off from this reading. Bear in mind that I, 7th, will disclose these energies to the highest vibrational honor bestowed upon me. However, bear in mind that you may find these energies to be either merciful and or merciless. Again, however, that is in true form to having heard Sekhmet's energy. Please know that you have tapped into a collective reading that I, 7th, am holding at this time. This is not a personal one-to-one connection that you and I actually have set time for, so keep that in mind as we take the bits and pieces that are to your liking and leave anything behind with me that may not have been to your liking. Alright. As already mentioned, this is one of 2 sister channels that I run. To gain access to her sister channel of Bastet, feel free to check out that description box below. You'll find plethora of links to travel the content as well as access to my website that you can find out information as to who I am, 7th, as well as utilizing it to book any services that I have made available for you at this time. Again, I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. And please remember that femininity and masculinity are non-gender specific. However, femininity has both feminine and masculinity as well has both feminine and masculinity. Justice for Gemini. Life has taken you on a bit of a whirlwind, I see. Alright, we have the 8 of Swords with the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Star card. Gemini, if you think you're going to ever be finished with healing, or if you think there will never be an end to suffering, that is part of the notion as to maybe why you're diving your nose in tarot. There is no such thing as definitive past, present, and future. There is no definitive way to help you bring sense of closure to the things that you want to bring sense of closure to besides yourself. There's only one true way of defining your own life, and that way is your way. Whether or not you had outside influence to pick your decision or your next move is still going to permeate through you, the vessel of that decision. There's an element of narratives, of course, you can control, and a lot of narratives that, of course, you cannot control. In that, there is supposed to be a safety netting that you do have control of, yes, the things that are out of your control or in your control. It's called perspective. That perspective is absolutely cunning and very definitive in how it will meet its maker, and how it will be feeling disciplined or feeling outmatched or challenged. That is part of the pursuit of what lies behind the accountability factor, which is you. So life has been teaching you this for a time now, and to make this make sense for yourself is the pursuit that is very difficult, where you might find yourself pulled in 2 opposite directions and stuck in the fact that you are a witness to the 2 opposite directions that you're being pulled to take witness of. And then you might have like a epiphany when I just said this, like, wait, this is me all the time. This is me, Gemini. This is and it's not supposed to be chaos. It's supposed to be understood, meaning you shouldn't perpetuate or have the feelings that naturally, organically are you feed back insecurity as much as they have, or as much as they seem to have absolute control over your well-being or the next words that come out of your mouth. They shouldn't have that much control. They shouldn't. There should be some space of a breath that is faster than the second you can even think about taking the next one or not, of how much space you have in making a rational decision or a reaction. There's a world within the stratosphere of it that is internal and external that wants to meet you. It wants to let you know how big you are. So sometimes in order to make you for you to get to that vastness of acceptance of how big you actually are, its goal is sometimes to make you feel really small. Because the smaller you feel, the bigger the chances are when something else comes that reminds you how small you've made yourself in that moment, that you'll finally acknowledge, due to that situation, for example, that you are actually bigger than this small situation. So however life can define itself to make that very fucking clear to you is exactly the goal in the pursuit of maybe perhaps this mission that seems perhaps chaotic to the emotions right now. There are a lot of unknowns to some of these things, right? However, let that be a known thing. Challenge yourself to accept that you may not know so. So put it all together and put it in a capsule of the things I don't know. You can reduce it. You can reduce it so you can recycle. You can recycle so you can reuse. And this is the teetering aspect to help you bring some sort of equilibrium, mercy, forgiveness, discipline, balance, compromise, acknowledgement to self-care here. Starting with the cognitive that's being triggered by the emotional and will take effect in the physical. Well, all right, we have the here we have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Death card. You're bigger than the skin you're in. The energy of you travels miles. As a master healer of my trade, they can begin to have the conversation, and you can be miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away and promote healing. Actually have fascinating results in that. So the fact that there is no limitations to the vastness of power and the impact of that is very fucking real. To chisel that into a finite possibility for someone, that's personal. That's up to that individual. There's no sense of judgment for that individual to either be accepting of something or not. Just like the book next to the other book can't be prejudiced being next to the book while it's also being on the market to being sold. But if we were to have a conscientiousness towards that idea that a mind can put a book next to another book and depict that book, those two books are strangers of each other, it then becomes the assault of the cognitive person that has imagination to put feelings upon something that we will never know if the book really has feelings or not. It's an assumption looking at this and saying that book may feel neglected for not being the chosen book. Forgotten. Untouched. In the world of books, It might not be a reality. In the world of thought, it could be plausible reality. It could be entertainment. That idea could put money in somebody's pockets, taking the unimaginable and making them imaginable, and putting pockets filled with things, opportunities, money, success, and that on an imagination. Ironic. Eight of Wands with the Judgment. This is opportunity taking shape. There is no trying to extinguish these fires. This is not something that you get to really control. This is part of earthly ways. If you don't want to be part of it, you're going to have to get out of earth. You can't even go, like you have to get off of earth in order to not feel this. Some of y'all really need to improve your sleep. It may need more. So if that means more is the answer to me, checking out the description and seeing whether or not I can assist you, or just in generally doing more to get this done, more needs to be done in order for you to close your eyes and reap the benefits of that need. There's something having an impossible chance of ever being detoxed if you don't put as much effort into the nightly routines as you are condemning yourselves into daily routines. That's it. I'm agitated. All right, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing.